Hi, I'm Phil Whitby. I'm a developer at SwiftCase, and I'm here today to talk to you about biases in business. And our first in the series is the IKEA effect. In a previous video, I think I talked about Edward Bernays, who was a pioneer in the field of public relations, nephew of Sigmund Freud, and he had a profound effect on how corporations and governments even viewed the population and how they could be manipulated and cajoled into buying particular products. A lot of his techniques have been used for the past 70 or so years, even longer, to coerce people into buying products. And one of the offshoots of his pioneering work was something called the IKEA effect. Now, the IKEA effect is the effect on a consumer to estimate anything or any product that they have been involved in the construction of as having a higher value than other objects similarly made by someone else or by a company. This seems like a fantastic opportunity if you're in business to exploit this tendency in your customers or your clients, to get them to value anything that they interact with and make themselves, so you can put a higher price on it yourself. And we've seen this in some products. I mean, even if you browse the supermarket, you see a lot of food kits which are basically the raw ingredients for a meal, but all chopped and ready just to be thrown in the pan. Now, some would argue that this does give you a better product in the end. I would argue that it is the feeling of making it yourself with the least amount of effort that people are actually buying. So they get to feel like they're actually really cooking rather than just microwaving a meal, even though the amount of effort is broadly equivalent. Anyone old enough to remember Warhammer 40,000 or even older and Airfix kits remembers the joy and self-satisfaction that you would get from painting and constructing these things. But not only that, people tend to evangelize about those products after they've had that experience. So a lot of marketing these days is about creating evangelists for your product. And what better evangelist than somebody who sincerely believes the product that they made or helped construct is of a higher value than any other. However, this is a double-edged sword or screwdriver, because you yourself may be a victim of the IKEA effect when making your own product. Now, this may lead to issues with over familiarization with the product, so you think it's more self-evidently usable than it is. You know how much effort you put into it, so you think maybe the pricing is perfectly reasonable, whereas people come into it cold, who had no hand in the production of your service or your product, may feel like it is a bit of a rip-off. Now, if you are subject to the IKEA effect, then you may not see these issues. So not only is it a useful tool potentially for creating higher value in the minds of customers, it also means that you yourself may be a victim, and therefore that may prevent you making inroads into a market for your product. If you think this doesn't apply to you, then watch on, and in the next video I'm going to discuss more biases, and in particular the Dunning-Kruger effect, which may have particular relevance. As usual, subscribe below, leave any comments, I'll try and get back to you. I've been Phil from SwiftCase, and I hope you found this video informative. See you next time.